Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Tenet, the diabolical control deck that is out to strip the opponent of the will to fight. We're battling opponents with a strategic set of cards aimed at taking away not just their men on board, but we can snipe cards right out of their deck. We're loaded to battle against men, but our payload can let us take on combo and control. Let's get in there. We're playing the full set of Stormchaser's talent, the 1 mana enchantment that generates an otter token when it enters play. When we take it up to level 2, we get an instant or sorcery back from our grave. This gives us the opportunity to cripple the opponent with a card that we've already used once. And although we've lost our partner to the talent, this town ain't big enough. We do have a way to bounce our talents for a second go around. Pilfer is a fantastic card that gives us a peek at what the opponent is holding. It is 1 mana more than Duress, but with this we can make them toss any non-land card. Pilfer will be good early and can make an impact later in the game thanks to our setup. Strategic Betrayal is not just a removal, it will exile the opponent's grave as well. There will be 0 cards coming back from the grave for our bro. Plus we can get it back with a talent and repeat the process. Graveyard shenanigans, not today. Filter Out is one of our secret weapons. We can fire this off at instant speed and bounce any annoying permanents back to the opponent's hand. It's also a great way to get back our own talents for repeated uses. Creatures and lands won't be bounced back to hand, but everything else will. With their cards back in hand, we can use Pilfer to snipe anything we don't want them to have. Although Filter Out does not bounce enemy men, if they swing in, Aetherize will take care of them. This is just one of our defensive measures, but it's a good one given our strategic cards that we can use to snipe cards right out of the opponent's deck. Ancient Vendetta is another secret weapon. With it, we can snipe cards right out of the opponent's hand and library. Using a Pilfer early on can give us an idea of what would be best to snipe. Getting it back with a talent for a second go can be enough to cripple an opponent's deck, and that's exactly what we want to do. Scavenger Regent is pure creature control. With few people playing out dragons these days, we can sweep up enemy men. And since it shuffles itself back in, we're bound to draw it again later. With enough mana, we can even take care of indestructible men, and since it doesn't target, we have 0 men to fear. Deadly Cover-Up is a fantastic sweeper. It does cost us 5 mana, but when we fire it off, we can choose to Collective Evidence. And if we do, we can exile a card from the opponent's grave and all other copies of it. It's a great way to nail another set of cards after clearing out opposing threats. Marang River Regent is our bit of card draw, as well as a large body that we can play out to take down the opponent's life total. Most of the time we'll want to use Coil and Catch to reload our hand and give us more options against the opponent's strategy. The Black Virtue is yet another removal that will also gain us a bit of life. Later on, we can use it to get enemy men back from the grave or even our own. Most of the time, we're simply looking to keep opposing threats to a minimum, but if there's a chance we can take the game by getting the opponent's men on our side, it makes sense to go ahead and play it out. For lands, we're playing 4 Undercity Sewers, the Dimir Surveil land, 4 Restless Reef, the Shark land that also mills 4 cards away when it swings in, 4 Gloomlake Verge, the island that becomes a duel when we have an island or swamp in play, 6 Swamp, and 6 Islands. Playing the deck can be rather simple, though it does play better the more you know about the opponent's deck. And that is really the hard part. Having an idea of what the opponent might be up to early on can be very useful. A Strategic Vendetta to strike out an opponent's key card can be a very crippling play, especially when the opponent has only played out a few cards. Pilfer is great early, as it can give us an idea of what we could potentially be up against, and it will eliminate a threat in hand. Against reanimation strategies, the Betrayal will be key in preventing the opponent from getting a big threat down early. It does a number on self-mill strategies as well. The Virtue is the only way we have to gain life, so minimizing big hits against our life total is an important part of playing the deck. Use Bounce strategically and smash enemy men at every opportunity. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is peculiar. No, wait. It's peculium, the long-lost element not on the periodic table. We're kicking things off with a shuffler special. We do have some early cards to play out, as well as double surveil land. Keep your pants on. We draw a third land right away, and then our surveil land shows us a fourth land on top. With that, we've got enough to play out almost everything in our deck. GG's opponent, no wait, they're still here. Their first play is a Voice of Victory. We're gonna shut that voice up though. Get gone, girl. Their next play is a War Leader's Call. Their men will hit us for a point as soon as they arrive on board. Luckily, we had a removal for their voice, or that would have been a pile of damages. Our surveil land shows us a cover-up on top. We'll keep it. That's a card we might end up needing here pretty soon. They hit our token with a shock. That's very shocking, bro. Time to hit them with the Vendetta. The Voice of Victory could be very bad for us if they find another. Let's nail it before it nails us. While we're here, we might as well take a peek at what else they might have in store. That pack beast has mobilized 3, so we might need to nail that as well. We drew a filter out. We can bounce our talent and their call and potentially get rid of it for good with a Vendetta. Let's go ahead and level up our talent and get primed for this line. They throw down a Zergo. He's got a mobilize of 2 and makes those tokens stick around. That's a guy we definitely want to see gone. They follow up with a Sheltered by Ghosts. Their strategy was sound until they played the Aura. We have to fire off the cover-up. Zergo can't be allowed to remain on board. Plus, we'll get our talent back, and it'll be reset to get us back another instant or sorcery. Thanks for helping out, bro. What a shocking development. It always makes me happy to see the opponent throw away a card on a token. Let's hit them with the Vendetta yet again. The pack beast is bad for us, but Zergo is even worse. Let's not worry about that guy the rest of this game. Sniping with all guns blazing. Smell you later. We'll take the turn to get our Vendetta back. This time, we'll likely nail the pack beast. We could filter out at the end of their turn next time and then nail the War Leader's Call. We could eliminate their phone service for the entire game. Bro must have spilled some brown chowder in his pants. He's got to go. GG's, bro. Extra cheese. This is no good, Rowan. Keep rowing, bro. Practice does make perfect. We get another shuffler special? I mean, why not? We do have a couple of playable cards, one of which is a removal. It could end up getting ugly, but we'll give it a shot. Keep your hopes up. We draw a third land right away, so we're in decent shape now through these early turns. The opponent doesn't believe in early plays. He's going to watch us assemble our board. We get another talent and we'll play it out. The goal, of course, is not to win with otter tokens, so them using removal on our men is fine. They impending out a green overlord and boost themselves up to 4 mana. The land part is the only real advantage they have. There's nothing to do other than send in our token. Let's make them think it is something they should worry about. They toss a green overlord in the grave with a surveil land. That's an odd move. They follow up with a Terra, and it suddenly makes sense. This is a Una deck. It's time to make use of our Betrayal. It's strategic and eliminates any more enchantments entering play from their grave. Good night, sleep tight, and don't let the shark man bite. They go for more self-mill, and there's a Bahama Mama in there. Good thing we can just get that Betrayal right back with a talent and schloop the snoop. We're kind of light on lands, but 4 is still enough to fire off the Vendetta. Let's not see anything come out of the grave. They had one in hand. Hilarious. Well, that strategy is shot. What else you got, bro? We're counting every point of life, so we'll block up. But wait, this guy goes away next turn anyways. We'd be blocking a dead man. Negative, Ghost Rider. We'll save our token for another day. We draw a 5th land, and that's enough for our cover-up. Let's smoke this board. We could collect evidence and take out another of their cards, but I kind of want to get those back out of the grave for another go. We'll just clear the board. That's fine. They plop down a white overlord, it lands with a squishy sound, and it suddenly stinks up in here. We draw another cover-up, and suddenly we're all good. We'll drop the hammer on them, and this time around, we will collect evidence. We'll take out the white overlord. Let's not see any more of those this game. Our surveil land shows us a Pilfer on top, which could still work well for us. We'll follow up with taking a talent to level 2 and get the Vendetta back. We're going to keep hammering their deck. They drop in the Knights of Round, but you have to remember that it has a toughness of 3, which is perfect since our Virtue can snipe it. Hope you didn't think that was going to win the game for you, bro. It has to feel pretty disappointing. Am I right? They play out a Fear. That might be all that's left in their deck. They send the tokens, but we've got that covered. We'll go ahead and level up the other talent and get back something to deal with their men. Of the two, the cover-up is the permanent solution, so we'll take it. Let's check out what they're holding. A removal for the men we don't have. They send in their fear. Thanks to all the stuff in their grave, they get to attack us twice with it. All that hard work is finally paying off. They get some hits in. We draw another betrayal at the perfect moment. Let's can this fear and send it packing. We'll follow up with another vendetta. We're still sniping with all guns blazing. I think they had one more Knights of Round left. Let's get it before it shows up. They poop it and scoop it. GG's, extra cheese. This is Frog Lord. We're gonna make him get the frog out of here. Let's go. We open up with a 4-lander for a change. A removal, some bounce and draw, plus double surveil lands. I like it. Keep. Frogman takes a mull. He must have not liked his 4-lander. They drop a Selesnya land, and I have to wonder if they're on the same unideck as the last opponent. Our surveil land shows us a Scavenger Regent on top. We'll take it. Maybe the opponent is playing every color. Our surveil land shows us another Regent, and it could be we need them all, so we'll keep it on top. What is this? I have yet to see one of these hit the board. We'll go ahead and croak their frog. We don't need to see that in action. They impending out a white overlord. Is this the only deck being played anymore? A toxin for 1 will deal with the tokens, then we can play out our talent. Getting that betrayal back would be pretty good for when their overlord flips. They impending out a second one. Sure, bro. We'll cancel out their tokens yet again, then we can get in for chip damages. They play out another Helga, and unfortunately we don't have the ability to snipe it this time. But that's fine, they're low on cards, and we've still got plays we can make. We hit the end of their turn, and we'll go ahead and fire off our filter out. That's right, no white overlord this time. This will give us a chance to draw into a 5th land. That is not a 5th land, and now we've got a decision to make. We can replay our talent, or we do have a Marang that we can use to draw. If we intend to play it out, we should do so on our turn, in case we draw lands. And now we have to decide on what to toss out. We're holding the lands, so those are safe. I'm kind of leaning towards the Vendetta as everything else has an impact on the board, and that's what we need in this fight. They pay the full price for one of their white overlords. and they'll have a second one coming down on their next turn. Let's take a look at what we have in the grave. I think we can sacrifice the Vendetta and the Filter out. We'll want to collect evidence when we fire off our cover-up. We'll drop the hammer on this board, we can take out the White Overlord, and that'll take care of the one they have in hand. They're holding a Yuna. This deck has gotten so predictable. You can smell it a mile away. What's next, bro? You gonna drop in a naked Yuna? And that's exactly what they do. They follow up with their enchantment, and that gives them something to bring back. We've got enough to collect evidence on our second cover-up. Let's go ahead and smash. Looking through what's left, they only have 4 Overlords left. Should have brought more ammo. They go for the blue Overlord. It'll give them some card draw, but they do have to toss a card also. We could Vendetta, but they have so few threats left that all we might end up having to do is defend our life total and let that blue Overlord mill away their cards. There's 2 cards less in their deck. We'll take the hit this time and see if they play anything else out. They do add a Helga, and that's fine. The blue Overlord is the real threat. Helga doesn't have much that she can help play out now. We could fire off the Filter out. They do seem to love replaying their Dredge enchantment, and that mills them 4 cards, but let's hold what we got. We'll take one of our talents up to level 2 and get our cover-up back. They snipe it before we can get it. That would seem like a solid move, but we still have plenty of life and more creature control. A green Overlord joins the party, but they impending it out. They need threats on board. They shouldn't slow roll it. We'll filter out their stuff, and they'll have to toss cards to hand size. Our surveil land shows us a swamp on top and we'll bin it. We're finally drawing all the lands we should have gotten early, but now we don't need them. We'll play out a talent, and that will be it for our turn. They impending out the green overlord yet again. I guess they're not concerned about running out of cards. They swing in and will go ahead and Aetherize their men. If they want that blue overlord on board, they'll have to replay it. Let's see it, bro. Play it again. There it is. That deck is starting to look a little slim, and that's 11 cards left in their deck for those keeping score at home. We'll fire off our Vendetta this time and snipe the card they used to snipe our cover-up. We'll make sure that won't be an issue for the few turns that are left. They fire off a removal to snipe a token. Probably should have hit one of our talents instead. Oopsie poopsie, bro. They snipe the second token, but will send their men packing. Replay that blue overlord again for me, please. They finally realize they've got a limited amount of time and play out a green overlord for its full price. We draw a cover-up and we'll fire it off to get rid of their men, and we'll even take out Helga. They can keep the blue overlords all day, every day. They've got trash left in their deck, a removal and 5 lands. Let's get back our Aetherize and prepare for the next round of blue overlord action. They can't take it, the poop and scoop of the century. GG's, extra cheese. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.